Also from the building trades, I'd like to introduce Executive Secretary of the Seattle King County Building and Construction Trades, Lee Newgent.
We'll just be expanding on what Dave has already said. I want to remind some people here some real important parts of this. I'm 6 years prior service military myself with the Army, and I recognize there are other services. I just wasn't part of those. When I saw that it was the VICE training program, first thing I thought of, as Dave did, is that maybe that was the Ironworkers training program, because I had learned more about VICE being there. But when I think about what this means today, this is Veterans Day week. Yesterday was Military Appreciation Day in the NFL. But today, what we're talking about today, like Mike had said earlier, is that when we're talking about, I understand the community you came from, I've been there. And I want to embrace the idea that you understand the community you're joining. The primary reasons that unions exist is to take care of the needs of our members and their families. That's what we exist for. Everything else that we put into and invest in, that is the critical thing the unions and the investment in our training programs, VECA, IBEW, the pipe fitters, the iron workers, all their programs are invest so that you will be successful. And I understand very well that the casualties from service do not always happen in theater. That you suffer, you can be a casualty after you return to our country. And that's where our responsibility is to make sure you receive the support so that you can be successful. And in my individual union, we look out for our members in some unique ways so that if you are National Guard active duty and you're active duty and you are put back into theater and you are activated, that we're going to make sure that our medical gets extended to your family while you're gone. We're going to make sure that if you're serving our country, that we should at least step up and make a pension contribution so you get a pension credit while you're gone. We understand that you will have a major economic impact when you go on active duty from when you were earning a living wage, and we try to embrace that idea as much as we can. So I welcome you into our world. And I know that when I went in the military, I did not go in the military for a trade. I was a young romantic. It's they said there were sandy beaches. They never said there was any water. So there's plenty of sand everywhere I went. But what I want you to really, truly understand today is you have something you can be successful in, that you can be a member of our union. And that the idea being that we will train you the world-class training you cannot receive anywhere else. And it was up to you. One thing I did learn in the military was my leadership ability. That if something happens, stand up and tell them. If you see something wrong with your brother, your sister, you tell them. And you have a unique position. You're the first class. That means that everything that happens from now on is reflective of your needs. That you have that pressure on you. And we're here to make sure, and I'll give you my contact information, so we will ensure that you're as successful as you can be. I also want to recognize that there's other veterans out here from the Helmets of Hard Hat. Would they please stand up if they're in the audience? Thank you very much. And while I wanted to say welcome, brothers, I know we have Local 32 represented, plumbers and pipe fitters in their training program. We have the laborers are represented. I think the sprinkler fitters are represented. I know the laborers, Local 440 is also represented. But you know, there's no shortage of people coming back. And we need to embrace the idea that they're coming back and do what we can to make sure they're successful. And unfortunately for Class 1, make sure that they are successful so that we can continue this process until, one thing, we quit having conflicts overseas, but the other thing being that Class 72 is successful as Class number 1 is. So welcome very much. I appreciate you joining our world.
Thanks, Lee. So when Brett was visioning this entire program and the opportunities it had, he had many people to enlist in helping him and recruiting veterans and developing training. A key factor of what he had to recruit as well was one of the main building stones of this whole VICE program, and that is once we've done this accelerated training program, we need to put these individuals to work and put them out there. Our next speaker, representing NECA, our National Electric Contractors Association, he's representing all the contractors that are actually going to give these individuals a job and a career as we continue to train them through their apprenticeship program. I'd like to welcome Thomas Fairbanks, CEO of VECA Electric.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be here. On behalf of the National Electrical Contractors Association, Puget Sound chapter, we congratulate these graduates: Kirk, Ryan, OJ, Jenny, Daniel, Manuel, Patrick, and Alberto. Good job. We look forward to hiring you. When Barry Sherman told us about Brett's idea, the NECA Board of Directors embraced this program immediately and got on board right away. Let me give you a little bit of history about my company. The name of my company is VECA Electric. VECA Electric stands for Veterans Electrical Contractors Association. In 1946, two veterans of World War II came back to Seattle, where they had grown up. And at that point in the country, there was a lot of hire a veteran, but they weren't getting hired, and so they started their own company. And that's where we got our start 63 years ago. And they hired veterans, themselves and others. And I bought this company 20 years ago from one of those men. He's still alive. He's almost 90. Great guy, great health. And he had the vision of what it could be, and built this company on the back of veterans. So we're happy to have more veterans, and we look forward to having you come to work for us. We believe that, well, I know that everything we do is, and all the money we make is because of the people in the field who install the electrical systems that are designed to be installed. The guys in the office, they do other things, but we don't get paid for anything unless there's something installed, and that's what you'll be doing. And we look forward to having you in our industry, in our companies, and want to congratulate you, and look forward to seeing which one of you comes out to our company. So, thank you.